Hello, I'm Rami from Media Lotr. This is Painting Buddy. Welcome to the channel. Painting Buddy escaped. Right, today I'm gonna paint up something that I've wanted to paint ever since I started the hobby. And I started this hobby in 2009. So, this has been a long time coming. Finally, I found something new for the second-hand urukhai army. Finally. It's been way too fucking long. So yeah, I started an army, an urukhai army. It's gonna be more inspired by the Sultan Helm's Deep. I only buy the things in the army from second-hand sources like Vinted, and I also sell my old miniatures on Vinted to have money to buy new minis on Vinted. It's a vicious cycle, but Vinted is really cool. They're not sponsoring me. Nah, they're not. They should though. I really like that and site and the whole thing. But yeah, I finally found a good find. I've seen some other things, but yeah, I already have way too many urukhai warriors. I'm really trying to focus now on the heroes, the more special things. So I went and bought the battering ram. And this is gonna be a great addition. I really love how it looks, and yeah, I just need to paint it up. And I decided to go with the second paint scheme I posted on the channel, mainly because it's the more fun one. And maybe by the end of the video I will show you some footage of how the army looks right now. All the minis displayed, including the battering ram. I also made a random urukhai of some spare parts I got from that very big lot with 40 plus urukhai. I didn't record it, it broke my clippers. So I got real angry and I didn't record it. Yeah, those clippers were with me for like 10 plus years, it's crazy. I want to thank my wife for the video title from last video. Every time I upload, a couple of days in advance, you will see something of me pop up in the community tab, and it's gonna be named that video. And you can name the next video that's gonna come out in a couple of days by the time I post it, if it makes any sense. I suck at explaining, which is bad if you're trying to be someone on YouTube, explaining how he paints stuff. So yeah. Great thanks to my wife. Maybe next time somebody else will get the title, but I live with my wife and she said she was gonna kill me if I didn't choose her title. She knows where I live. So I'm not gonna hold you guys up for much longer. Let's just dive straight into the video and see how I painted this. If you've seen my previous urukhai painting schemes, it's gonna be pretty much the same thing again. Yeah, I just really love painting urukhai. So yeah, let's go to the painting part of this video. Hello and welcome back to the desk. As you can see, I already primed the battering ram with the urukhai as well. And I also based it. It's the same basing scheme that I use for all my urukhai. If I remember, there will be a link popping up right about now. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. So I started with the battering ram itself first. I painted it in warplock bronze, after which I also painted the urukhai itself, because I want to use one of my most favorite ways to paint these bad boys up. So after warplock bronze I use black templar to cover it up. I use as thin as possible of a layer actually, just to make sure that little bit of warplock bronze underneath is still showing. You could also thin it out with a little bit of water as well, just to make sure it shows more on the highlights. And that's a nice segue to the next paint. So I'm putting leadbelcher on by dry brush, and it's gonna make a more movie accurate version. In one of my previous videos I said it's more metallic than black, the movie accurate paint scheme, but it's only true that for the CGI urukhai, that you can clearly distinguish from the actors who are playing the urukhai. Fun fact, next time you watch Lord of the Rings, try and spot them. It's easy, but it doesn't take away from the awesomeness of the movies. Now after doing leadbelcher all over, I use eshin grey for the wood part of this battering ram. Just to make it look like it's more of a dark wood, and yeah, I'm trying to make this a little bit more movie accurate, even though the base really isn't. I just don't have the skills to make something that looks even remotely like the pathway they're walking on. Why can't I think of the name right now? Don't put eshin grey too far away, we're gonna use this one later. Now doombull brown is my go-to paint for the skin for urukhai. It's just something I actually have always done and never changed ever since I first painted urukhai back in 2009 or 2010, so yeah. At this point it's just a reflex to grab doombull brown when painting urukhai skin. And I must say these models have a lot of detail. God, what the fuck. Painting buddy just gave me a heart attack, great. And I completely lost what the fuck I was talking about, fuck. So yeah, next paint, dryad bark. That's something I use for the feet and the hands in case they're wearing anything there. Some sculpts don't really... Nah, they all have it, if I remember correctly. I'm recording this voiceover like a week after I painted this. Just to mix up the browns a little bit, make it look a little bit more dark. Then for the loincloth I use mournfang brown. For no reason other than I used it once and now I have to use it for the entirety of this army, else it will not look uniform. But then again, they're urukhai, so I should get away with it. Yeah, that's the whole story behind that. Now the eshin grey I told you to not put away too far. I use that for any straps, leather belts, anything on of the sorts on the sculpt. And now abaddon black for the hair. Yeah, this is a very fast painting scheme. Now everything that isn't metal I cover with agrax earthshade, including the wood on the battering ram. It will give it a little bit more of a greyish, brownish wood vibe. That's what I was actually going for. The second I bought this I knew I was gonna use eshin grey for the wood, and I think it turns out pretty awesome. And as a final step I use doombull brown again, since it's a layer paint. I used it out of the pot to give a little highlights here and there on the urukhai, especially on the parts that are gonna be seen way more than others. And I didn't want to overdo it, so I also wetted my brush. I dipped it in my painting water, didn't dry it off, I just put it in the doombull brown paint and I mixed it around a little bit, just to thin down the paint that a little bit more and to hydrate it as well, because on my desk for some reason the paint tends to dry out very quickly. And that's how I painted my battering ram. And of course I also put tufts on the base to match the other urukhai I have in this army. And speaking of the army, I'm gonna show you a little bit of footage of how it's looking at the moment. I think it looks pretty awesome. But there is something that bothers me a little bit, and that's the white plank they're standing on. And I plan on changing that in the near future. It's probably gonna be its own whole video, but I'm waiting for the weather to be more reliably good, because I'm probably gonna need to do some things outside. So yeah, keep an eye out for that video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Remember, like, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel out and makes the channel grow, and it makes me happy. So I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, I'm Lemmy from lotr. God. This is not a great idea. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna open the door for you. Okay. Still recording? Great. And ooh. So yeah, bye. God, it's hot here. Dang.